Hi, and welcome to my PowerPoint presentation. My name is Gutama Waday, and today the title of this presentation is called Hip Hop, the Voice for the Voiceless, Deconstructing Rhymes for the Mental Health Support. So before I start, I would like to start by honoring the land that we are on, which has been the site of human activity since time immemorial. It is the traditional territories of the Huron-Wendat, Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, and more recently, the Mississaugas of the Credit River First Nations. Ontario is covered by 46 treaties and other agreements and is home to many Indigenous nations from across Turtle Island, including the Inuit and the Métis. These treaties and other agreements to peaceably share and care for the land and its resources. Other Indigenous nations, Europeans, and newcomers were invited into this covenant in the spirit of respect, peace, and friendship. We are all treaty people, many of us. We have come here as settlers, immigrants, newcomers in this generation or generations past. We are mindful of broken covenants and we strive to make this right with the land and with each other. I would also like to acknowledge those of us who came here forcibly and involuntarily, particularly as a result of the transatlantic slave trade. And so I honor and pay tribute to the ancestors of African origin and descent. So the hip hop track that I've chosen to break down this, pun intended, the message, the track name is called The Message. The group name is Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. It was release date of July 1st, 1982, which is 40 years old. I'm trying to bridge the gap between the hip hop community and the mental health community. Is hip hop the most popular genre of the music in the world? You would have to answer that question. It's one of the most popular genres, that's for sure. It's basically, it's about using music as a tool to deliver a message to a wider audience. The Message is the first conscious song in hip hop. Most people and even the Rolling Stone magazine labeled The Message as the greatest hip hop song of all time. Basically, rap songs have messages that people can relate to. Before I start this PowerPoint, it would be a good idea for you to actually listen to the song. So you can stream it on one of your platforms that you use. You can also download it on YouTube. The link's there if you want to click on it. The song brought attention to problems such as poverty, racism, and economic oppression. The main message from the song is that living in community day in and day out brings a great deal amount of psychological stress on your body and mind. So the first lyric that I like to break down is the part where it goes, it's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under. It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under. When I break this lyric down, it's basically saying life is a jungle and everyone will have their own struggles. My interpretation is that New York City is sometimes referred to as the Big Apple, the city that never sleeps, or the concrete jungle. The rhyme is basically stating that the big lights of New York City no longer inspires him. He now feels depressed because he believes that he will not be successful in life due to the fast-paced world around him that has crushed his dreams. The mental health point here is that the observation is of a perceived danger or coping with the stress of everyday problems and how they bring about severe anxieties. Then Melly Mel goes on to say, broken glass everywhere, people pissing on the stairs. You know, they just don't care. I can't take that smell. I can't take that noise. Got no money to move out. I guess I got no choice. Rats in the front room, roaches in the back, junkies in the alley with the baseball bat. I tried to get away, but I couldn't get far because the man with the tow truck repossessed my car. He's talking about his everyday living conditions, and he painted a very descriptive image. He states that no matter how hard he tries to want to leave his situation, but something always pulls him back to the reality of his sad circumstance. It's a trap that he is unfortunately stuck in. So here my interpretation is that the way I see it is that whether you're living in a housing project or in an abusive home, both exacerbates the risk of physical and psychological harm. As a result, it makes a person feel stuck in these dangerous places. We know that living in these types of homes can destroy a person's outlook and their economic success in the future. The mental health point here is that a person's well-being is directly related to the living condition. It's a simple formula that if you're living in a positive environment, it would better equip you with the necessary tools to sustain happiness and have a higher quality of life. However, this doesn't mean that a person cannot overcome hardship. The chorus of the song is, "Don't push me, 'cause I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head. Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh." It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under. Here the breakdown is, it's basically saying that I'm mad as hell and I'm not gonna take this anymore. I really want people to leave me alone because I feel like I am losing my mind. Here, my interpretation is that he's in a lot of pain, but is trying to laugh it off. He has a lot of built up anger and is ready to start a fight with anyone. Melly Mel is also struggling with the thoughts in his mind. The mental health point here is that without saying the word, Melly Mel is experiencing suicidal ideation. His thoughts of harming himself is by jumping off a cliff to forget all his pain. In this case, Melly Mel is feeling desperate as he does not see a way out of his current living condition. Having someone in his life that he could explore these feelings would help him to find a new resilient tactic to cope with the pain and find solutions to his problems. Deep self-examination. Using rap to break down the stereotypes that long hinders peoples that live in impoverished neighborhoods, breaking the vicious cycle of not transferring pain onto other people. Understand and believe that you're not the product of your environment. This change in thinking will allow you to not get stuck living in the environment that is not good for your overall mental health. The next part was the trauma exposure. There is a visceral response when your body sees or hears traumatic experiences in a person's neighborhood or in the larger community. This is referred as a trauma exposure. People may experience the same trauma exposures, but sometimes only one person gets affected and the other person is not stuck in their mind. When the trauma is compounded over time, it creates a propensity of more people being traumatized and affecting their overall mental health. Lastly, the power of vulnerability. The song might be 40 years old, but the overall message from the song still remains relevant today. Today, mental health issues are discussed more openly, whether in rap songs or by people who are living in the underserved neighborhoods. Rap music has gone mainstream, which allows for more ears to listen to the message of being vulnerable and not being afraid to seek help. Nowadays, more and more rappers are sharing their mental health diagnosis or their symptoms, which can only benefit themselves and also their listeners. This is the end of my presentation. So I just want to say thank you very much for listening to my presentation. And I hope you have a great day. Take care. Bye.